Welcome to Anime Thoughts, where I, your anime thought, will lead you into discussion. Today's topic is CGI, where we're going to talk about the pros and cons. If you like this video, then please join the family by subscribing. Little introduction before we get started so everyone is on the same page. CGI is an abbreviation of Clinical Global Impressions, which is a fancy term for... oh shit, wrong wiki. CGI is an abbreviation of, computer generated image. In anime, this is pretty much where instead of drawing out a particular scene, the producer or whoever is in charge of this step uses a program that generates everything, which leads to a very 3D look to the film. Now in the anime community, we get very mixed reactions, and usually people are very sensitive to this topic, leaning one way or the other. I will admit there have been times where I was not all too hype about an anime having CGI, but there have been some pretty dope scenes with this program. Here are a few instances where CGI was a good choice. Naruto vs. Pain was an awesome showcase for CGI. Attack on Titan looked crazy, especially when they were flying through the city. Although I haven't seen Fate Zero, I watched some scenes with the CGI and it looks fairly dope. There are plenty of more anime with CGI that I could list in a positive way, but these three really did a good job to me. Now before we get to what I think CGI shouldn't be used for, let me tell you where I stand. I think the best use of CGI is when it's not noticeable, when it just feels natural in the film, where CGI is just an accessory to a vanilla version of an anime art style, typically used in a very fast-paced scene that gives the anime a more dramatic feel to it. Alright, now let's get to not necessarily bad CGI, but just where I tend to draw the line. I can't stand when the anime is straight CGI, where practically every single second it's computer generated. It just doesn't flow with my eyes all too well, and my brain recognizes it as non-living, if that makes sense. I have a hard time developing feelings for characters in these films because they just don't seem human. This is probably due to the fact that 2D art style is meant for 2D, and imitating it in a 3D format makes, for a lack of a better term, awkward look. It just distracts me from the developing plot that a lot of times are great. Now before you start yelling at me for hating full CGI type of anime, I just want to say I understand that some companies need to use CGI for the full film because of budget issues, and if I'm not mistaken, it's cheaper to have computer generated scenes instead of someone drawing every single second of the anime. This allows us to watch anime that may have never been able to reach our eyes if it wasn't for CGI. Some examples of full computer generated anime would be Expelled from Paradise, Ajin, Knights of Sidonia, Berserk 2017, RWBY if I'm not mistaken, and so on. I liked most of these shows, but it took a while before I wasn't constantly being distracted by CGI. If you disagree with me or agreed with me, let's see it in the comments. Also, I'd love to hear your additional thoughts on this topic, so please don't be shy. If you liked the video, then please hit the subscribe button as hard as you can. Like always, I better see you in the next one, or else.